be expecting it to happen. Poetry can make you happy. Poetry can make you wanna snap. I guess it just depends on where you're at. When you're listening to poetry, or when you're reading poetry, or when you're writing down your poetry. Cause everything is poetry. Everything is poetry. Yeah, everything is poetry. And poetry is everything. Poetry is creativity. Poetry is inspiration. Poetry is you and me. Poetry is bigger than us all. Poetry is everything. And everything is poetry, y'all. Poetry is love. Poetry is hate. Poetry is real. Poetry is fake. Poetry is joy. Poetry is pain. Poetry is sunshine. Poetry is rain. Poetry is everything. 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 Everything is poetry. Everything. 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 Everything is poetry. Every day I rise, every day I write. Every day I rhyme, every day I recite. Lyrics that bite, lessons of excite. Words that might take you on another plane of existence tonight, alright? The darker side of things, like the full of ups and downs, there's no arguing with that. Sometimes it shows you the way, sometimes it holds you back. So when you feel like your back's against the wall, grab your pen and pad and write some poetry, y'all. Poetry is everything. Everything is poetry. Poetry is everything. Everything is poetry. Everything. Thank you. Thank you. Tragedy. There's so much in the world that's sad to me. Tragedy. It's a bad, mad world, that's the reality. Tragedy. R.I.P. to my cousin Ashley. She was stabbed to death 30 times by her husband. Early one morning, he showed up at her work, took her life. She had 2 babies, and she was only 19 years old. And that's a tragedy. Tragedy. There's so much in the world that's sad to me. Tragedy. It's a bad, mad world, that's a reality. Tragedy. R.I.P. to my cousin Jeremy. Jeremy was 12 years old. He went on a field trip one day with his school. And then his pedophile for a principal tried to drug him and take advantage of his innocent soul. He died from the side effects of the drugs that he was getting, and so that's a tragedy. Tragedy. There's so much in the world that's sad to me. This world is coming to an end, and I ain't talking about the earth. I'm talking about you and me, and we, and us and them, and everybody, young and old. No matter their culture. Wherever in the world, it's not getting any better. I can't even watch the news anymore, and I don't want to. I can see how things are regressing by looking around me. It's sad and it's bad. It's how man has made it. They're programming everybody they can to be anything other than themselves. Pay attention, this is how it is. This is just a glimpse. There's the corruption taking place within the system. Who's to say I won't be shot by the police today? And who's to say my baby's relative won't be kidnapped, praying for these children in the streets today, being influenced by their parents, neighbors' children who's done enough not to catch them or doesn't care that they're downloading recipes off the internet for crystal methamphetamines and instructions on how to make bombs. Is it his fault? Let's take a walk. Journey with me to a darker side of things. Shots ring, shots fired, everybody get down, dude's going out. He just got hit, she did too. Everybody run, Jimmy's got a gun. To what it is this world has come. This world will come to an end. What's the difference? Just the color of our skin, unless you ask the government, and well, that's where a lot of the fault lies. Truth, reality lies. The reality lies in the fact that we're under attack and have been since like 1776. Independence, who they trying to kid? Serpents in they snakes, serpents in they schemes, serpents in my dreams. Got you where they want you, got you under control, it's sickening. And they will try and kill me, except I will never die. Lives multiplied by the past, future, present, like the phoenix rise from the ashes, like the vampire from the casket. Every day I write, every day I rise, every day I recite lyrics that bite, verses of insight, words that might take it to another place and time. Tragedy. There's so much in the world that's sad to me.
Hi, my name is Krysta, and the first one I'm going to read is called Pedestal. Do you see me? I'm standing right in front of you, lost in the shadow of your ego. But you wouldn't know. You're too lost in the broken reflection of yourself. I'm like an ant compared to the pedestal you put yourself on. Tell me, what makes you so special? What makes you better than me? Speechless? I bet. Because in reality, where everyone else is, you're just like me. You breathe the same air as me and walk the same ground as me. Tell me, what makes you so great? So step off your pedestal, join the reality that you have put yourself above of for so long, and realize that you're nothing to get excited over.
Let me do an intro. I'm Buffalo Bill. Buffalo ill, got neither time nor rhyme, and I'm never just to kill. My looks are at par, my words all suck. So if you're looking for a good show, you're pretty much out of luck. When I trip, then I trip. When I flip, dip, skip like a little envy across the pavement schoolyard. It's hard when you travel far from my herd. Mama Buffalo's missing and daddy's in the meadow wondering who he should be kissing. While I'm dissing my own self, funny voice, I'm no help. Like a tactician on a mission searching for a new position, who won't question extra fur or a horn, and won't mind if I watch porn. In his office, offense. Offensive, that's me. Put me away. It's okay, not okay. And I always get away from the fray any day. It's any, I must say. Escape artist is the hardest thing, but the smartest fling. But before you got your lobotomy, you never thought of me. Look, lock and key. No longer free. You put my beast in a cage when I rage, and I always flip the page, but I've got a war to wage, and I dare you to engage when I'm enraged. You, God's will. You kill. But you're a Wild West and I'm Buffalo Bill. Horns, fangs, and the pangs of despised love fist me like a glove. You think ample, but I trample under heavy foot, heavy hoof. Leaping, stomping from roof on roofs while I kiss it, rip it, stomp it, miss it, flip it, drip it. The script, I wrote it, writ it. Like murder she rewrote and took notes like hypotheses or Socrates, or like Moses when I make a roar, I split the seas. Stop, please. I'm a wild animal, manimal. Cannibal, Hannibal, and you give me this play and expect me to stay in script as if I never lift a pin in my life, am I right? Every night we fight, and you always choose to stay, but today it's my place. Stage left, walking away.
I have a poem that describes me to a T. It's by my favorite poet and my dad's favorite poet, Thing for English B. The instructor said, "Go home and write a page tonight, and let that page come out of you, then it will be true." I wonder if it's that simple. I'm 22, colored, born in Winston-Salem, and I went to school there, then Durham, then here, to this college on the hill above Harlem. I'm the only colored student in my class. The steps from the hill lead down into Harlem through a park. Then I cross St. Nicholas, 8th Avenue, 7th, and then I come to the Y, the Harlem Branch Y, where I take the elevator up to my room, sit down, and write this page. It's not easy for me to know what is true for you or for me at 22, my age, but I guess I'm what I feel and see and hear. Harlem, I hear you. Hear you, hear me, we too, you, me. Talk on this page. I hear New York too, me who? Well, I like to eat, sleep, drink, and be in love. I like to read, work, learn, and understand life. I like a pipe for Christmas, for a Christmas present, or records, Bessie, Bop, or Bach. I guess being colored doesn't make me not like the same things as other folks who are not other races. So, will my page be colored that I write? Being me, it will not be white, but it will be a part of you, instructor. You are white, and yet a part of me, as I am a part of you. That's American. Sometimes perhaps you don't want to be a part of me, nor do I want to be a part of you, but we are. That's true. As I learned from you, I guess you learned from me, although you're older and white and some more free. This is my page for English B. Thank you. I've always liked this one. This inspired me in dark times. It's called Don't Quit. It goes, when things go wrong, and sometimes they will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tin of the clouds of doubt. And you can never tell how close you are, and may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you mustn't ever quit. It's author or man? Nobody knows who wrote that.
Who am I? Conceived in the heavens mind, I once was a dream, a beauty in disguise, born to be the queen, but still not seen in the tomorrow's eyes. My actuality consistently defied what I was meant to be. Who am I? I am me, a boy, a girl, an orphan, left to fend for my own, misguided, discarded, caught in a vicious cycle, the mumbo-jumbo called reality. So, do you see yourself in me? Well, I'm the child in the corner, searching for my food in the gutter, a son of the urban genocide, a fatherless one, contemplating suicide. Who am I? I am an abandoned, forsaken Haitian kid, scarred, torn for what they did in the past and the last. Left to make my living behind the scene in disease-infested, polluted streets and projects of the Caribbean. Or in the sub-Saharan deserts, you may find me right now in Somalia, Asia, India, even in South America. Who am I supposed to be? That, my friend, is not the right question. So if you'd like to know me, please don't spend your time searching for me on TV, because I'm right here. And I'm just me, with a smile. But on the other side of the world, I am the tears and the eye, the different dream and the mind of a homeless child. This piece is about keeping it real. The last time I performed this piece, I had so deep of an accent when I pronounced the word real, people couldn't hear what I was talking about. So I thought I'd spell it from now on. Real people. R-E-A-L. Real. To talk like them, or walk like them, to bend like them, but fend for them, to preach like them, while reaching them, to hope like them, to cope with them, to dress like them, confesses them, them, T-H-E-M, are those who know how to keep it real, telling it like it is, without sugarcoating or adding some cheese. The RPs, the real people, there's sometimes fewer to go around, but are always the one who don't have to try hard to show their true color. They're sometimes hidden in the bunch, but easy to recognize, because the truth is always written in their eyes. Not like them other folks, so fake like a $3 bill. You know what I mean? But when it comes to real people, you know the drill. To talk like them, or walk like them, to bend like them, or bend for them, to preach like them, while reaching them, to hope like them, still cope with them, to dress like them, confesses them. Them are those, the real people, who often do the real thing. So until next time, peace and keep it real. L-O-V-E, the love bomb. Love. L-O-V-E, love. This is dedicated to my father. His name is Ferdinand Zephyr. They say that a man without true love is not a man. Love, although you are bigger than the entire atmosphere, still you can sneak into the smallest mind with no fear, like a hypnotism. Better yet, you never dance alone with racism. And the way you find your place in every heart. But in others, you seem to tear apart. L-O-V-E, the love of mine, love of the divine. Now I know you're not just a flame. You are love, the truth, and everything. So everyone here could testify that they too could not live without you. Because everywhere They're looking for you. Men and women, young and old, rich or poor, every race, every nation, even the whole universe. That's right. You're priceless. And while some might fear to let you show how wise, wonderful, and sensitive you are, I am here to sow my own and go so far to tell one, even in French, without a flinch. Je vous aime, because that's what you aim. If I spoke Korean, I'll tell one to put you in heaven. Sawanheyo, because you're loyal. If I spoke German, I'll tell one to prove that I'm a real man. Ich liebe dich, because you're not selfish. If I spoke Japanese, I'll tell all of you while I sneeze. Watashiwa, anato, ashtalu, because you're not just all from Peru. And in Spanish, te amo mi amor. But I do speak Creole. So, in the name of L-O-V-E, from the old American way, I'm here to say, once and for all, until we meet again, I love you all.
This evening I'm really kind of unprepared for anything new because I have been very, very thoughtful and pensive lately about some things I've written in the past, and I'm doing some modifications, but the major focus is the state of our country and the state of our citizens. And I'm finding a separation, a difference of opinion that's haunting me because it's also superficial, and the arguments I'm hearing doesn't amount to anything when it comes to what the real nature of this country is, which is freedom. I find it hard to believe that people are relinquishing freedoms for trivial handouts and menial penances when, if we go about things the right way, this country can prosper in so many ways. But I really feel that people need to work harder towards individual goals and individual success, and the masses' success will work out for itself. Anyway, I am here for one reason, and that is to wish a happy birthday to a lady that I had kind of promised I would. It's a strange thing how life leads us through a series of events. The gentleman before was talking about love, and here I stand at 66 years old with a heart as light as I've ever had in my life, with love. It's a powerful entity. It brings us to do things and be things that we think we can be and bring out emotions. But especially for people that have accomplished things in life such as this lady has, it's just really a privilege to understand and to show that people that have goals and really work for them can accomplish anything they want. Anyway, I just really want to say that my heart has been really heavy in the last year because of conflicts within political achievers and non-achievers. And I think that it's time that us as a group of people, just as citizens of the United States, need to overlook politics and just hold our hands up and be brothers and sisters once again. And I remember in the 60s, I know it'll never come back again, but it was a really important part of life. And hoping to God that we can find each other's spiritual side and go through that again and not look at anything else. Thank you very much.
Quote me, I love her. I know more than I believe, and what I know you wouldn't believe. If I was shot 9 times in my head close range, I wouldn't die because, well, I already died. She carried me beyond my last breath. Beyond the stage, beyond the grave, beyond death, it was miraculous. While I sat naked and self-mutilated, her presence motivated my flesh to return. Her fire drew me in. I ignored the burn that our souls shared rising through pyro skies. I won't apologize for being this deep, this far into what compels me to speak. Quote me. When all is said and done, there's only one. My mind won't remain still because everything I think about is real. If she did not come along, walking on water in my rainstorm, I would not be. Before sight came along, my eyes could not see. When I was a slave, I thought I was free. It's only right she introduced herself along my spirit guide, splitting the Red Sea on my soul with her eyes. God damn, I want to apologize because I made no mistakes when I made her mine. Quote me throughout time, she is the one. If the sun took back its light, I'd still be sunbathing tonight, riding through the ocean of none other than the original mother of the motherland, never again to associate with these city slickers. Since I met the one, my mind is quicker, tighter, thicker, delivering the vivid picture to whoever. The way she dictates the words is quite clever. Quote me, I'm better. Even if the world stopped turning, I wouldn't die. I'm higher than high since you walked by. I'm higher than high, and she is mine. Quote me, I love this woman. On a mission to shine under radars and cars and trucks that ain't mine. Lucky time after time, occasional fines and jail time remind me that I got a jailed mind. Freedom fighter in a box chasing a fox, trying to fly to the top, stopped by the locks. Shipped back to the bottom of the box, crashing with cops, tempted by Glocks and rocks. Aiming at myself, pop, pop. Stress level higher than the 70s, I'm hanging on the melodies. Alien from outer space searching for vices in a world where the most corrupt is the nicest. Well, goddamn it, if I vanish, will I manage to reconnect with the ignorance and innocence I took for granted? Came strapped with a sword and a cannon just to find everybody naked and abandoned. Dropped every weapon, expression, deep compassion, facing the onslaught of desert eagles blasting, praying for the Most High. What just happened? Okay, this is some lyrical hip-hop. God unleashed, tongue like weaponry, deadly motherfucking styles, flush your whole infantry. Descendant of myself, what you mean who sent for me? God on the track, hope you recognize the symphony. Lyrically, the epitome of epiphany you had when you first heard hip-hop initially. Bust a bus taught a nigga living in the hood how to rap and make it green, but I misunderstood. Chasing fortune and fame, the truth yelling my name, I reached for the limelight and strained through the pain. The real know what I'm saying, fuck being fucked, so I tucked my talent in and jumped on a truck headed east where I found my face carved in stone. God greeted me at the shore, welcome home. Bitch, get that nigga some dome. God has swept me off my feet and put me on a throne. Lost in love, sitting the clouds above. Addicted to the truth, I became my own drug. Reality turned to dreams, I headed backwards. Woke up and realized I was living in shackles. Immediate response, look, take this ring. No longer a fiend of material things. Shut it down, I'm in the lab, formulating newness. Clueless to the opposition and the opportunist. Frugal flow, now I'm blowing that drove. Doge and dollars circulating while I grow. The world is a show, so I put in that action. Until I see myself again, I'm mashing. Hitchhiker with the 7 snakes on my dome. Slow it down, take me home, take me home. Right here with the secret poets, take me home. called If God Were Black. I hope y'all can appreciate the artistry in this and not get caught up in the Western racism. If God were black, his children would suffer. His children would suffer so bad that others would ask, how in the world could God be black? If God were black, black would represent death, because how could any man truly know God unless he dies? If God were black, I would spend my nights searching for his face, and I would spend my days looking through his eyes. If God were black, she would dance with the candle's flame and carry its breath beyond sight. If God were black, she would paint dots of light on her naked form so that I could appreciate the vastness of her beauty. If God were black, who would we turn to when we hate ourselves? If God were black, he would cast his seed, and when there was no fruit left, he would start over. If God were black, her children would spend their whole lives running away from her just to get closer to her. My God, why have you forsaken me? My God, take back these things, because in seeing your face, have I not regained it all? If God were black. Writer's Block. It's where I stayed last week. The block where many of the famous artists stopped. Some lived there. They owned real estate on the corners where little kids were never found. Only the writers with internal fears that folk would have something to say if their words didn't penetrate the right way. So we post up on the block. It's where I met this woman named Freedom. She told me to escape the slave trade inside my chest. I'm blessed to be able to speak and express. I'd listen and digest, then progress towards freedom, because I needed her with me when I left the block. I made new friends in the state I was in. Whites and blacks stood there under the signal lights while people murmured to themselves in the alleys, and old folks sat silently under oak trees. They'd been there so long they couldn't afford to leave. I couldn't afford to leave them there, so I spoke as no one had, as no one dared to, and now no one lives silently. I revolted violently against the quiet days and nights spent without a pen to write in the place we've all been, never to return to, the block. Spent a lot of time away. I took about a year off from reality. Did a spiritual apprenticeship under a Swami in Pageland, who was taught by Osho. Most of the time I spent there, I mean, it was strictly all about meditation, going in within yourself, until I realized how to become completely aware and one with everything around me, which is still a struggle for everyone, I'm sure, including myself. But this poem was written while I was there. It means a lot to me. It's called A Second in the Moment, because at the time, Swami was trying to teach me that the moment was all I have, is what's most important. This is like my ode to him. Wait before you respond. I need not miss a moment, because the moment I blink could be the moment I think thoughts of naked possibilities which will never clothe themselves in fabric I can feel. The moment, the undeniably real experience that takes me from life to life and more life. The moment blinds hindsight and forces fantasy to fade beneath the twilight. I'm right here, tell me, why should I dream of next year or entertain the foreshadowing fireflies of fear when reality makes me feel so much better, so much more near, so much more clear? Barriers turn to doorways in space, and heaven manifests itself in your face. So why would I turn the page so soon? I need more time to appreciate right now. I want to process this until I can't digest anything else, still feeling, until I realize there's nothing else left. I can't find forever in tomorrow's silhouette. The sun's light beaming and the stage is set. I want to dance with this moment and show it with no regrets how much I can't live without it. Opened up for Cornell West. That's where I met Kamat. So I'm just trying to bring it all the way around, full circle, 360 degrees. This is called Butterflies on a Tightrope. Ah, yes.
That's what it felt like when the butterfly wings rushed across the walls of my stomach, that moment right before I hit the stage every time. Because this is more than videos and clothes. This is life being manifest through poetic prose, man. This is like Star Wars meets Hotel Rwanda. Black man stranded, found the force but couldn't find his mama. Like chitlins on Thanksgiving, funky as hell. Like the resurrection of Christ, but most can't tell because they won't even watch the butterflies. They won't look at the butterflies. They won't stop to smell the roses. So focused on being noticed and walking a tightrope with hope invested in material acquisition that perpetuates the fundamentals of the present system, which in fact doesn't even leave itself intact. I mean, we're talking about borrowed money, borrowed time, and everything else in between in order to support a fragile condition and live some sort of superficial dream. Man, that's backwards, man. That's cold. And don't get me wrong, everyone plays a role, but is it worth losing your soul to live long, supposedly? I mean, life ain't even guaranteed. So why buy into a lie that we can fly higher than God if we try, when in fact all we've ever really done is live and die? We maintain though. And on this tightrope of life, some of us just so happen to find hope by watching the butterflies. Thank y'all. Super Forward TV, let's get it.
Tonight, literally on the flyer. This one's called Self-Destruction. My life is a dark, dark place and I don't need it. But the fact that I say that means I only serve to feed it and believe it. I'm the monster hiding under my bed, and all my friends and family are just figments in my head. I'm misled by the bloodshed, a book that's been misread, and a horror that is homebred. The chaos of my mind is just fine, and soon I may find a balance in my madness, a symbol in my sadness, and the colors in the blackness. I'm as random as a wombat, seeking out a calm that can end my eternal self-destruction, my mortal combat. Otherwise, Secret Poet TV.
When I wonder about life, interesting things come to mind. Like, why do men have nipples? Or who could I call when I'm balls deep in a serious bind? To the rescue for every cry of every inquisition, there was never a time you weren't willing to listen. Remembering those days today makes me feel fine. Even as a little fella, I'd ask so many questions, pondering the ins and outs of life in search of its unforgiving and essential lessons. With such few words to say, I thank God for a father like me today. That was for my dad. Dear God, I think I'm in love. I already know you know who it is, but I just gotta tell you, she picks me up an octave when my notes are too low. She tunes my head to the perfect key. And when I'm wound too tight, she flips the tone, causing my mind to unwind. She can find all of my frets without looking, so I hardly fret. And she even strums my strings to see if I sound better than I look. I just don't believe you sent me something so good, like my favorite chord resonating and collaborating with my beating heart. Her vocal progression and presence amplifies my verses and syncopates my hooks. She dances your stage like she already has wings. I often wonder what did I do to deserve such good things. But I have just one more thought. If I'm the instrument and she's the musician, Can you give me some more strings so I can return the favor? Thanks, God. Sincerely, Langston. That's it. That's it. That was, yeah, I was once in love with that girl, and you know, she once loved me, but then she deleted me off Facebook after we broke up, and I moved 620 miles away, so, yeah. Oh, man, good times. God, Facebook, I hate you. I forgot to sleep last night as thoughts crashed into my mind like a meteor last night. In my shallow creek sleep last night, ideas and realizations began to creep last night as revelations became apparent in my shallow sleep last night. For the first time, I actually felt deep last night, my brain swimming through much deeper creeks, exploring a world where if you held your breath just long enough, you would just die alone, because everybody dies alone. And that shallow creek, before it was more filled, I didn't worry about the water because I never swam out to the middle. Of course, I knew what would happen. I'd drown or probably be killed. Last night, I forgot to sleep as new ideas crept into my comfy, complacent creek. Puff, puff, and never give, and I sucked the life from the creek from the outside, thinking that I was alive, but I had never lived. Never lived. Reap and seldom sow. Puff, puff, and rarely give with the other vampires as other fruit trees began to grow. So tall they seemed untouchable. I know someday we will sing about the fruits of this push towards reality, because it's lost me sleep undoubtedly. Now I swim out into the creek and I hold my breath just long enough for the others, so that if you dare swim and you dare risk to drown, I can risk it all in the depth and give you breath. Maybe they will love me for giving the last of all of my breath. And that's about how I lost sleep the other night. Thank you. Grazie. I write to defend those who feel belittled, to people who believe man has the right to wield and pound a gavel. I write to inform you all that I am not the whitest black guy you know, but the guy that wants to embrace anything that's worth embracing. I like it when you call me Big Papa and throw your hands in the air if you're a true player. And sweet Caroline, oh, oh, oh. Yes, that music provokes memories. The sight of dogwoods in the first bloom, well, maybe not that, but you know what I mean, in the time of June. Or even the first petal on the tulips that lined my driveway when I was just a little boy in the blazing hot sun. My mom would ask me to plant her favorite flowers, the hydrangea and azaleas. I miss those times of my youth, to see her smile as they bloomed, or even as the water poured from her watering pots. When I recall those memories, as if its time had stopped. It stopped when she smiled. But then my mom, she's gone. So, that is what that is. I'm right because the emo bands that I always made fun of sing songs like, I'm bleeding inside, can't you hear my pain? And in some instances, these lyrics ring true. I write because I forget, not just because I forgot, or not just because of the pot. It's just really because I forgot. Oh, yeah. Well, I write because I want to remember the perfumes and deodorizers Glade and Burberry could never produce or duplicate, while I drive by on my shabby red moped with awesome DUIs. Yeah, I love DUIs, they're so awesome. I write to tell my dad I love him, even though he thought that I was delusional and that we were never communicating, and all this shit was just so confusional life. And I just made up a word, confusional. Yeah. Anyway, so not deep. Oh man. I write to lyrically kill the notions of intent, of ignorance. And I also write because all you secret poet society folks that I like need to hear how I feel, love how I love, or love how you love. don't give a fuck. You are watching Secret Poet TV.
Everywhere I look, I see your face in the shadows, hiding from me. I search tirelessly, longing to feel your touch just one more time. That passion, that spark, electrifying every part of my body. Where have you gone? My never-ending search will one day bring me to you. Bring me back to your arms, the only place I feel truly safe. Where are you hiding? I still remember that day like it was yesterday. Seeing you from across the bar gave me that same hopeful and longing look that I was giving you. I longed to hear your voice, just as you longed to hear mine. The sound of your voice rose feelings in me I never thought I would feel again. And in an instant you were gone. Where have you gone, my love? And you are watching Secret Poet TV.
This is a song about somebody that I used to know. It's not often that I want to hurt you, but today I do. And when I say hurt, what I mean is destroy, obliterate. I want to make you feel so bad that you can't even comprehend yourself. I want to make you feel so bad about you that a thesaurus can't even comprehend the outrageous synonyms that I've got in store for your demise. And the dictionary doesn't even come close to what I'm going to do to you. You're going to need a physicist, philanthropist, psychiatrist, linguist to translate the cluster that I will melt you into. You don't have a clue, not even a hint or a glimpse. I'm creative, and I'll warn you again, you can start a war, you can have a room full of 50 men, and I'll still begin. Your teeth go first. Or I sew your mouth, and if I stop then you die of thirst. Then your eyes. I'll blind and disguise all your charms before you can tell your lies. Again, your fingernails next, and you'll never scratch my back again or catch me with another man or girl. Your skin is fourth, so that tattoo that says, "Girl, you're my star in the north," will never say my name, not ever, not like that, not again. Next fact. I would also like to take your hair so that I'll never have to see the black dye that I put in there. I'll be said and done, and you'll be in a box under my bed, dead. Not in true terms or laws, just in life. You'll be snared in God's jaws. Because when you said you loved me, or whatever else you said you felt for me, that was in terms of war. And when you said that you have a drink with me, you didn't show up. You damned Aquarius. We damned Aquarians, you and I. We'll always hate each other and blame one another for the disaster that wasn't even the fault of either one of us. Not you. You take the high road, don't you? And I'll take the low road while you keep your eyes on the sky and keep your eyes on your God, and then you'll just block me from the sunshine. You're watching Secret Poet.